Most people today are not tired because they are doing too much. They are tired because their nervous system never truly rests. Even in moments of silence, the mind keeps running, replaying conversations, anticipating problems, bracing for threats that never arrive. The body may be sitting still, but internally, it is stuck in a low-grade survival mode, as if something is always about to go wrong. This is why so many people wake up already exhausted. Sleep no longer feels restorative. Focus is fragile. Small stressors feel disproportionately heavy, and no amount of motivation, discipline, or positive thinking seems to fix it. The problem is not a lack of effort. It is that the system responsible for regulating calm, safety, and recovery has been chronically overloaded. Modern life trains the brain to stay alert at all times. Notifications, deadlines, artificial light, constant information. Your nervous system interprets all of this as pressure. Over time, it adapts by staying on even when there is no real danger. This state becomes the new normal. You may not feel panicked, but you rarely feel truly settled either. What if this constant tension is not a personal flaw, but a biological loop that can be interrupted? Long before neuroscience had names for stress hormones and neural circuits, ancient cultures understood something fundamental. If you want to change the mind, you must first change the state of the body. And among all bodily functions, there is one that acts as a direct doorway into your internal state: your breath. Unlike your heartbeat or digestion, breathing is both automatic and controllable. It sits at the intersection between survival and choice. This makes it a powerful lever. When used unconsciously, it mirrors your stress. When used deliberately, it can send a very different message to the brain. Ancient practitioners did not use breath to relax in the modern sense. They used it to shift consciousness, to reset the body's baseline, to bring the nervous system back into alignment. For thousands of years, this knowledge was refined, protected, and passed down quietly, not because it was mystical, but because it was powerful. Only recently has modern science begun to catch up, discovering that certain breathing patterns can do more than calm you down. They can change how your brain functions at a structural level. They can signal safety so deeply that the brain finally lets go of patterns it has been holding on to for years. If your mind feels like a browser with 30 tabs open, the solution may not be to manage the tabs, but to restart the system itself. To understand why this matters, you need to look at how stress actually reshapes the brain. Stress is not just a feeling, it is a biological command. When the nervous system senses pressure, real or imagined, it prioritizes survival over growth. Resources are redirected away from repair, learning, and creativity, and toward vigilance and protection. This is useful in short bursts. Over months or years, it becomes destructive. One of the first things to decline under chronic stress is the brain's ability to renew itself. Neuroplasticity, the capacity to form new neural connections, slows down. The brain becomes efficient, but rigid. It keeps running the same emotional reactions, the same thought patterns, the same pain responses, even when they no longer serve you. This is why stress feels repetitive. It is not new problems, it is old circuitry firing again and again. At the center of this process is a molecule called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. You can think of BDNF as growth support for the brain. It helps neurons survive, encourages the formation of new connections, and plays a critical role in learning, memory, and emotional resilience. When BDNF levels are healthy, the brain is adaptable. When they are low, the brain becomes stuck. Chronic stress, poor sleep, shallow breathing, and constant mental stimulation all suppress BDNF. Over time, this creates a subtle but powerful shift. The brain becomes less capable of updating itself. Old fears linger longer, pain signals amplify, motivation fades. Many people assume this is aging or personality, when in reality, it is a nervous system that has lost access to its own repair mechanisms. There is another layer that often goes unnoticed. Most people breathe far more than their bodies actually need. This pattern, known as chronic overbreathing, disrupts the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the blood. The brain interprets this imbalance as instability, even danger. As a result, the stress response stays partially activated all day long. So the brain receives a constant message: stay alert, stay guarded, don't relax yet. In that state, healing is postponed. Growth is delayed. The system is not broken. It is doing exactly what it has been signaled to do. The key insight is this: if stress is maintained by biological signals, it can also be reversed by biological signals. And one of the most direct ways to influence those signals is not through thought, but through breath. Long before brain scans and laboratory measurements, ancient traditions understood that the breath was not merely a tool for staying alive, but a mechanism for shaping inner reality. Across cultures, from Himalayan monasteries to early yogic lineages, breath was treated as a bridge, linking the body's instincts with the mind's awareness. They observed something modern people often miss. Change the breath, and the entire inner landscape begins to shift. These traditions did not approach breathwork as a relaxation technique. Their goal was not comfort, but coherence. By slowing, regulating, and refining the breath, practitioners learned how to move the nervous system out of chaos and into order. Instead of trying to control thoughts directly, they worked at a deeper level, adjusting the physiological conditions that give rise to thoughts in the first place. This is why many people struggle with meditation today. They sit quietly, attempt to calm the mind, and become frustrated when it refuses to cooperate. From a biological perspective, this makes sense. A nervous system that is signaling danger will not easily produce stillness, no matter how strong the intention. Ancient practitioners understood this intuitively. Before stillness of mind could emerge, the body had to feel safe. Breath was the entry point because it is uniquely positioned between the conscious and unconscious systems. It responds instantly to fear, stress, and excitement, yet it can also be guided deliberately. When the breath becomes slow, rhythmic, and balanced, it sends a powerful signal upward to the brain. The environment is stable, the body is supported, there is no immediate threat. Over time, this signaling reshapes baseline awareness. Attention becomes steadier. Emotional reactions soften. The mind naturally turns inward, not through force, but through biological alignment. What appears from the outside as heightened awareness or expanded consciousness is, at its core, a nervous system operating in a state of deep regulation. This is the aspect of ancient breath practices that modern science is now beginning to validate. They were not symbolic rituals or mystical beliefs. They were practical technologies, refined through observation, designed to access states of clarity and healing that the stressed modern brain rarely reaches on its own. At the center of this regulation lies a long, wandering nerve that most people have never heard of, yet feel every day. The vagus nerve runs from the brainstem down through the neck and chest, branching into the heart, lungs, and digestive organs. It is the main communication highway between the brain and the body, constantly carrying information about safety or threat. When this nerve is active and responsive, the body knows how to slow down, repair itself, and return to balance. When it is understimulated, the stress response lingers. From the brain's perspective, safety is not a philosophical concept. It is a physiological state. The brain decides whether to heal or defend based on incoming signals from the body. Heart rate, breathing rhythm, muscle tension, and blood chemistry all contribute to this decision. The vagus nerve integrates these signals and translates them into a simple message: we are safe, or stay alert. Controlled breathing is one of the fastest ways to influence this message. When the breath becomes slow and evenly paced, especially with a longer, softer exhale, the vagus nerve increases its activity. This tells the brain that the environment is stable. In response, stress hormones decrease, inflammation drops, and resources shift back toward repair and growth. This is not a placebo effect. It is a hardwired biological response. You can think of the vagus nerve as a master reset switch. It does not erase memories or experiences, but it changes the conditions under which they are processed. Pain signals quiet down. Emotional reactions lose their sharp edge. The brain becomes more flexible, more willing to let go of patterns that were formed during periods of prolonged stress. This is the state in which neuroplasticity thrives, and it is the state ancient breath practices were designed to access. To activate this state, the mechanics matter, but the quality matters more. Begin by sitting upright, not rigid, with the spine naturally extended and the body supported. Let the shoulders soften and the jaw relax. This posture alone already reduces unnecessary tension and allows the lungs to move freely. The breath should feel smooth, almost wave-like, rather than forced or mechanical. As you inhale, Draw the air in slowly through the nose, allowing the belly to expand first, then the ribs, then the upper chest. This bottom-up movement signals efficiency and calm to the nervous system. At the top of the inhale, pause briefly, not with strain, but with ease. This gentle suspension allows oxygen and carbon dioxide levels to shift in a way that further enhances vagal signaling. The exhale is where the deepest regulation occurs. Release the breath slowly as if you are letting air out a balloon without collapsing it. Feel the chest soften, the shoulders drop, the face relax. A long, controlled exhale is one of the clearest signals of safety the body can send to the brain. With each cycle, the nervous system receives the same message. There is no urgency, no immediate threat, nothing that needs to be solved right now. Rather than obsessing over counting seconds, focus on consistency and sensation. The goal is coherence, not precision. After a few minutes, the breath begins to regulate itself. The body takes over. What you may notice next is subtle. A quieting of mental noise, a sense of internal space, a feeling of being more inside your body than inside your thoughts. This is not relaxation in the casual sense. It is regulation, a return to a baseline state the nervous system recognizes as safe, stable, and ready to change. As this regulated state deepens, the experience begins to change in ways that are difficult to capture with numbers alone. The mind does not suddenly go blank. Instead, it slows. Thoughts lose their urgency. They still appear, but they pass through without pulling you with them. The constant background tension that usually accompanies thinking begins to dissolve, creating a sense of mental spaciousness. At the neurological level, this shift corresponds to changes in brainwave activity. The brain gradually moves out of high-frequency beta waves, which dominate during stress and problem-solving, and into alpha and theta states. These are the same states associated with deep learning, creativity, and emotional integration. They often occur naturally just before sleep or upon waking, moments when insight seems to arise effortlessly. In this state, the body also becomes more perceptible. Sensations that were previously drowned out by mental noise come back online. You may notice warmth in the chest, a gentle tingling in the hands, or a subtle pulsing along the spine. These are signs that circulation is improving and that the nervous system is communicating more fluidly with the body. What makes this experience especially powerful is its accessibility. Traditionally, reaching such states required years of meditation practice. Here, the body is guided into them directly through physiology. Instead of training the mind to overpower stress, the stress response itself is dialed down, allowing clarity to emerge on its own. Many people describe this state as feeling clear but grounded, or calm without being sleepy. There is a sense of presence that is alert yet unforced. From this place, insight feels less like effort and more like recognition. Problems are seen from a wider perspective. Emotional reactions soften. The brain is no longer defending, it is integrating. What makes this approach especially valuable is how easily it integrates into everyday life. It does not require silence, isolation, or long periods of practice. Because it works directly with the nervous system, even a few minutes can shift your internal state in a meaningful way. This makes it practical for modern schedules that rarely allow extended downtime. In the morning, this type of breathing helps recalibrate the nervous system before the day begins. Instead of starting the day already in a reactive state, the brain receives a signal of stability. Focus becomes steadier, decision-making clearer, and emotional reactivity lower. You are not forcing productivity. You are creating the conditions in which it naturally arises. During the day, especially under pressure, regulated breathing acts as an interrupt. Stress often builds because the body never receives a clear signal that a challenge has passed. A few cycles of slow, controlled breath can break that loop, preventing stress from accumulating into tension, headaches, or mental fatigue. Over time, this trains the nervous system to return to balance more quickly after disruption. In the evening, the effects are even more noticeable. Many people struggle to fall asleep, not because they are not tired, but because their nervous system has not transitioned out of alert mode. Breathing that emphasizes a slow, gentle exhale encourages this transition. Sleep becomes deeper, more restorative, and less fragmented. The brain finally enters the conditions needed for repair. With consistent practice, the changes extend beyond individual sessions. Baseline tension decreases. chronic aches linked to stress begin to fade. Emotional responses become less extreme, not through suppression, but through regulation. The nervous system learns a new default, one that supports resilience rather than constant vigilance. This is not a temporary calming technique. It is a gradual retraining of how the body and brain relate to stress itself. The most important thing to understand is that the brain does not change because you believe it will. It changes because it receives consistent, reliable signals. Breathing in a regulated way is one of the simplest signals you can give, yet it reaches deeper than most mental strategies ever will. It does not argue with the nervous system or try to override it. It speaks its language. You do not need to approach this with expectation or ambition. In fact, the less you try to force an outcome, the more effective it becomes. The invitation is simple. Set aside a few minutes each day and allow the body to remember a state it already knows how to access. Let the breath move smoothly. Let the exhale soften. Let the nervous system do the work it has been postponing. Try this consistently for 7 days, not as a self-improvement project, but as an experiment in listening. Notice how you respond to stress. Notice how quickly you return to calm. Notice whether your thoughts feel less gripping, your body less guarded, your sleep more settled. These changes tend to arrive quietly without drama, but they accumulate. What ancient practitioners understood and modern science is now confirming is that transformation does not begin at the level of thought. It begins at the level of state. When the body feels safe, the brain becomes flexible. When the brain becomes flexible, old patterns lose their hold. If 10 minutes a day can shift the way your nervous system experiences the world, the real question is not whether it works. The question is whether you are willing to give your body the signal it has been waiting for.